Welcome in. It's a Monday, technically a Tuesday. Labor Day, we gave everybody the day off. The show, you hopefully still had a day off. Devan is back with us, so welcome back, Devan Kaney, Harry Mays. I'm Eitan. We hope you had some fun at the beach at least, as we pulled through without you.
I know. I miss you guys, and I really miss being able to gloat over my Northwestern bet from week 0. I was so excited when they won, but then also last week's, or I guess this past weekend's college football games were just as exciting. So
yep,
lots more to talk about.
Well, yeah, that and the Phillies lost 5 out of 6, so we can permanently just sort of put them in the back burner now that football has started.
Wait,
we don't discuss the Phillies right now, Harry. We're moving on.
Okay.
Right.
Focus on football now. They're
exactly.
Before we honor that, though, is there really the last time the Phillies won was the game that you attended? Is that right?
No, they won one game against Arizona. It just feels like that, Eitan.
It does. It does.
Well, only one game, though, since.
I know. Right? Yeah.
Okay, I'm just saying. Maybe there's something to the golden touch, right? And a lot of times that's just turning something into gold, but it could also be the reverse where maybe we should be tailing everything Devan's playing because her just leaving the presence of the Phillies has turned them into shit. So you never know. You never know.
You know, maybe that was the reason for their awful road trip. I've been trying to figure out what happened, and I guess it was all me.
Well, look, I didn't want to lead with that, but if you want to offer that up, that's fine. I was thinking maybe it was you and the opposite of it, but we'll see. We'll see how your plays pan out. Maybe that would be the determining factor.
Yeah, but we all know, too, that pumpkin season is now here, too.
Yes. And it's a good point because the show continue to be sponsored by Rita's, but check this out from Rita's.
Everybody! Rita's is bringing back pumpkin perfection with our pumpkin milkshake and Reese's Take 5 Pumpkin Concrete. And new app users can get a free ice when they download and use offer code PUMPKIN. Trademarks are used under license. Offer expires October 16th.
Be cool, eat your Rita's. All right, we have Thursday night football to get to, and things have changed, and it's actually opened up a conversation. I don't know how many of you know who Brian Leonard is. I didn't know who he was ahead of time either. And, of course, I don't even have the damn thing here with me, so I'm going to have to blow past that segment. There goes that. Here's what I would say, though, before we even look at Thursday night. Damn it, I had this thing here in front of me. I don't even know what the hell happened to it.
That line's been moving around, man.
Well, that's the thing. Yeah. And Brian Leonard, essentially, I believe that's his first name, is all about this week 1 theory. So I'll get to that in a second. And in fact, maybe by the time you two are talking, I can run up and get this damn sticky note that I had that had all my information on it. That's what I get for putting my shit on a sticky note. But especially with a 14-month-old running around here. Do you have anything on the Eagles game that you want to get out now ahead of time? Because I looked at one area that I was going to bring up, and that's anytime TD scores, they're up on DK. And it's a really fun market to get into, especially if you have an idea of a handle. There's one other really good game prop that you can get into that I'll hold back on. But before I even give you some names there, Devan, Harry, Devan, whoever, is there anything that you wanted to look at early on? We'll talk about it on Wednesday. We'll talk about it on Friday. I have no doubt. But it's an early week 1 look for the Eagles right now, depending on what you found.
Well, what would an A.J. Brown for anytime touchdown look like? What kind of numbers are him? Because you got to figure that they're going to want to feature him, as soon as possible. And I could see him getting a couple of looks in the red zone against the Detroit Lions.
Yeah, I mean, you're not going to get much here for a lot of these guys. So A.J. Brown is plus 130.
Oh, okay. Wow.
Yeah.
Well, so the thing about the Lions is if we look back to when they played them last season, that was when they really started running the ball a lot. So I know this is week 1 and we all want to see more passing from Jalen Hurts, but part of me does also wonder what the ratio of run to pass play calling is going to be. Right now for the Eagles Lions, all I have is Eagles money line. I don't think that they're going to blow the lines out of the water, so I'm not doing anything with the spread. But I will have more specific bets as we get closer to game day. I do have another NFL bet, but we can discuss that.
Yeah. No, that's fine. So you have them at minus 190, 195?
The Eagles?
Yeah, if you're taking them on the money line. I mean, they're close to
minus 198.
Yeah, I mean that's a 2-to-1 bet there. So
yeah.
And look, I that's exactly it. I think the line, we've been talking about this from 4.5 to 3.5. I'm not going to touch the spread per se. It's not on my spreadsheet, as we'll hit that. Things have been updated on the spreadsheet before we get out of here. But yeah, I mean, I think from the standpoint of the Eagles win the football game, it's one that I'll build on. And the value, Harry, that I found for anytime TD scorers are going to be with Quez Watkins at 3-1, Kenny Gainwell at plus 265, where I still think that's going to be closer as the season progresses. You're going to get that closer to 2-1 as the books catch up with how much he's going to be used, especially in the red zone. Yeah. And then, look, we're talking about the Lions, are we not? It's Jared Goff and the Lions, right?
Right.
So the Eagles' D or special teams is plus 425 to score a touchdown. Something to look at for those three as far as if you wanted to find early value in these.
Okay. I mean, I don't know. They got Aiden Hutchinson. Like they have new additions, and Hard Knocks has. I guess I fall into the category of people who have bought into the Hard Knocks site, and I'm a little. I don't think that the Lions are going to beat the Eagles, but I don't know if I'd risk that.
You see, it works, Eitan. Hard Knocks hype works. It is real.
Okay, well, let me clarify. It's less about Hard Knocks scaring me and more about just not getting much information at all about what the Eagles' game plan is going to be going into this season, because they keep everything really close to their chest throughout training camp and preseason.
Yeah. Devin bought a Dan Campbell grit hat while she was down at the shore. I know it's there somewhere.
Look, I'm not a Dan Campbell hater. I love the passion. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Campbell, they gave up 30 or more, 7-17 last year.
Wow.
They're rough. He's 1-3 straight up against the spread as a dog of 3 to 4.5 points. And like I say, he's going to lose this game, but I think when you start to look at it, it's a little bit deeper in there. And look, you're not going to get value on anybody here. Jalen Hurts is 6-1 to score 2. So you're not going to get any value with Jalen Hurts. You're not going to. I told you about AJ Brown. If you really wanted to find a narrative here, a game script that would pay out, it would be somebody like Kenny Gainwell or Quez Watkins, the other guy, if you will, in a group standing out. And you can come to those conclusions whoever you want. So you're getting a 22-1 for 2 TDs for Gainwell, 28-1 for Watkins. If anybody out there were to play an anytime score, I'd say, put a half a unit on these guys to score 1 and a quarter on them to score 2, if you can build that narrative. Now, obviously, AJ Brown, these other guys are easier to score, but
less value.
No value. Absolutely
right.
No value.
Sometimes a win is just good for a win, though. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Plus 130 might not sound like a lot, and it's not. But, hey, if it goes in the W column, it starts to incrementally build the bankroll.
Mm-hmm.
Well, sure, but that's not guaranteed to go in the W column either.
Nothing is guaranteed. That's why they call it gambling.
Yeah, and your break-even point for that ain't great either. So I'm trying to find the advanced value here on somebody in this game outside of what I know is going to be heavily bet, like over passing yards or
is
under.
Miles Sanders going to get any run with his injuries?
That's another thing. That's why I want to jump on Gainwell here. All right, before we look at the NFL Thursday night, I know, Devin, you had another one. Do you have anything at all that you've seen in this game, Harry, ahead of time on a Monday, Tuesday, technically?
For the Thursday night game?
No, for the Eagles.
I'm saving that for later in the week. Okay. I go one day at a time here.
And I'm looking at happening on Tuesday.
I know. I'm looking at the Thursday night game tomorrow on our show, but today I went with an NFL future that has been screaming to me all Labor Day weekend. For some reason, I had a dream. And I awoke from this dream ensconced in purple and gold. And I'm thinking about the Minnesota Vikings, not only in week 1, but over their season win total of 9.5. It's just calling to me. I just have a funny feeling that there's going to be an incredible kismet between the new head coach, Kevin O'Connell, and his quarterback, Kirk Cousins. I think this might be finally the coach that can get the most and most consistent play out of Kirk Cousins, who has tremendous highs and tremendous lows in his NFL career. He's got all all the tools, but sometimes there's like misfiring in the 5-6 inches between his ears in decision making late in games in big spots. And I think that this might be the coach that can finally coach that out of him. They've got a lot of offensive firepower. They start off the week against Green Bay, which is a home game and a game I think they've got to have in order for any of this to come true, for them to get over 9.5 wins, because their schedule's pretty tough. They've got I had it right here in front of me. At Philly, of course, week 2, they come to
which
see
we've
the
already
Eagles.
told you, at least I have on the show, to take the Eagles anything under 3.
Okay. And they go to New Orleans and they go to Buffalo. So those are 3 tough road games. They get Indianapolis, New England, and Dallas at home. But for some reason, it's calling to me. 9.5 wins at -110. I will take the over, and I will take Minnesota getting the 1.5 on week 1.
It was up to 2.5 at one point, so you missed an opportunity to middle it. But let me say this. Do you know where Matt LaFleur ranks all time as far as winningest head coaches are concerned?
I have no idea.
Second.
Yeah,
Kevin O'Connell
how many games has he coached?
Look, I'm just telling you. It's not a small sample size of a year. Like, the guy has been there a decent amount of times where he's winning games. Why is he winning games? Because he has Aaron Rodgers.
Right.
So you want me to put my money on a coach who has never called plays before in his career to now be the head coach of Kirk Cousins?
He's Sean McVay 2.0, and he's had Kirk Cousins in the past in Washington. There's a very good.
Get out of here.
Yes, I'm taking
I
it
love
to the
every new coach in the NFL is Sean McVay 2.0.
Well,
it's
this
like,
guy
guys,
really is.
Like Sean McVay. I don't know.
To be
as
fair,
long as we don't beat the Eagles week 2, I'm okay with that.
Yeah, is right. And look, to be fair, Harry is not one who gives out this praise of, oh, he's the next, or she's the next, or they're the next.
I try not to buy the loud.
Exactly.
Hype. Yeah.
So I understand that this comes with conviction, but I'll show you the spreadsheet before we get out of here. I got on Green Bay -1.5 when that moved to 2.5. I pushed the middle as a teaser, 6-point teaser through 8.5. I'm with you where there's value on Minnesota with more than 1.5 points, but I ain't going against Aaron Rodgers. I don't know about you, Devan. I'm not going against Aaron Rodgers.
I'm not going against Aaron Rodgers. No. Like, do I think that the Packers are going to go and Aaron Rodgers are going to make the Super Bowl? No. But for week 1, like, no, I'm not doing that.
You realize Devontae Adams is no longer there, right? You guys got that memo?
Yeah, I did. Thank you. I appreciate it, because I don't get a lot of memos.
This just in. Okay, he's on a Taco Bell commercial and he's in Las Vegas.
Yeah, I get it. They still have Aaron Rodgers, though, right?
I know, but he's got to throw it to him. He can't catch it himself. Giselle Bundchen told you that years ago about Tom Brady. He can't catch his own passes.
Would it surprise you if Rodgers had a play where he did catch it himself?
Maybe, yeah. Maybe when he's eating mushrooms, he catches his own.
I know,
passes.
like, he might not have Devontae, but like he's been having a spiritual awakening this offseason, so maybe it'll help him.
It's a great point. What can you do on peyote? Aaron Rodgers.
I've done it. You can do anything on peyote.
There you go. You could have been an NFL quarterback. You didn't know. You didn't know what to do. All right. What was your play, Devan, before we move on to a couple of quick things before we get out?
Okay, so mine is for the Thursday night game, and it is Buffalo Bills to win plus Josh Allen to throw 2 or more touchdowns at plus 158.
Okay.
We know that Matthew Stafford's hand has been bothering him, probably from his Super Bowl ring, just like weighing it down. Mm-hmm. And I know the Bills and Josh Allen are still big mad after that heartbreaking loss against the Chiefs that knocked them out last season. So I think they're going to come out really hot. So that's my best bet going into week 1, and it's for the first game of the week. So got to start off strong.
I'll give McVay a benefit here in the sense that he's been able to come back from Super Bowl loss, Super Bowl win. Like, he's been able to do this. And I think that he has a pedigree at least established where, okay, it's not going to be that hangover that I think people may look at other teams correctively. So look, there's a reason why, though, this thing opened up, right, with the Rams as the home favorite.
1.5, I think, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yes. And now it's heavily bet the other way. It was 2.5. It was 2.5 at one point, Buffalo. Now I think it's down to 2 again on DraftKings today. So a lot of movement.
So this is good because I think what's going to happen is I agree with you, Devin. I think Josh Allen hits at least 2 TDs. I think the first half hits. And then what's going to be interesting is how the game plays out because we're both on opposing money lines here. So no spread. I love it.
No spread. No.
Get rid of it. Get
so
rid of it.
It's you versus me now.
Well, you versus me, and it's 2 of us versus Harry, right?
Right.
On the Vikings game.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Beautiful. Now, before I want to hit you with the spreadsheet, see if there's anything else that you see. And I think, Devin, you missed the introduction of this last week. This is what it looks like.
Get a load of this, Devin.
Yeah. Well, Matt's going to zoom in a sec here, but
in.
we'll come back to this in a sec, Matt, if you can. Matt Cherico, of course, is our fantastic producer. I did see this, and I think there's some interesting value here to jump in, right? The first quarterback to be benched. Now, Jalen Hurts is 25-1. He's all the way at the bottom. It ain't going to happen, folks.
No.
He ain't going to get benched. Trubisky's right there at the top, 3-1. It just makes sense with Kenny Pickett. I get it. You've got a couple of other guys here. Let me just throw out somebody who I believe has an opportunity to be benched because of A, who's behind him, and B, you're going to see an increase in pass attempts this year, which I don't know if he can handle. Tua Tagovailoa is 16-1.
You sound like Mad Dog Russo.
I know.
I love it. Do it.
Tagovailoa. Tua is at 16-1 right now. You know he's going to throw more with the addition of Tyreek Hill. You know that he's just going to have more passes per attempt per game, I should say, which is going to just be an increase in interceptions. I don't think the Miami Dolphins are going to sit there for a full year and say, let's just let this thing play out. They have a veteran behind him.
Petty B.
We talked about this as far as why he wouldn't be a good bet to lead the league in interceptions, but I think we can middle that logic and say at 16-1, if this guy comes out the first 3 or 4 weeks struggles, that's probably down to 9-1.
There's a lot of hype and a lot of, noise around this Miami. A lot of people expecting big things. So the first month of the season, all the pressure, I agree with you, is on Tua Tagovailoa, or however the hell you say his name. And with Teddy B, a sort of a steady hand backup sitting there in the wings, I don't think this new coaching staff will wait too long to pull the trigger if it doesn't start out very well. I agree with that.
Correct. I agree with that.
Yeah.
I can't see the spreadsheet, and I'm assuming Baker Mayfield is on it.
No. So,
no. Well, he's the second favorite.
Yeah. Don't worry about the spread. I'm sorry, Devin. So the spreadsheet has nothing to do with these odds. That's the.
Okay. I cannot read the spreadsheet whatsoever. So I
no.
Trubisky was 3-1, and I think what was
it's the graphic that I sent you both on the text. That's what it was. So first quarter, yeah. The spread. This is the spreadsheet, but we'll talk about this in a second.
Yeah, Baker Mayfield 6-1.
Yeah,
he's
6-1
favorite. Yeah,
which I get too.
I mean, to me, that's the safest. I don't know if that's going to win you the best money, but yeah, I would go with Baker on that.
Look, I think to your point, you could put a unit on 6-1, and you can put a half unit on Tua, and see what happens there. Because the half unit at 16-1 is going to cover that 6-1 and then some. So, nothing wrong with taking a favorite and playing something back end on a dog for sure.
I don't know though, but I could see my buddy Matt Rule saying, "Man, Baker looks terrible." But then he turns to his left and he sees the ginger-haired Sam Darnold. He said, "Yeah, but he stinks. I saw him all of last year." I think I'll ride it out a little longer with old Baker.
I know it. All right, let's hit it. All right, Cherico, let's hit it, man. I know you've been pushing this thing for a minute. Hold on.
There it is.
All right, so this is it. This is everything that we've had. The college, this is just my NFL and college spreadsheet. So everything that I've put in is here. It's read only. It's available. It's on Fox 29, so I have it public as well. You can see that, it's basically 55 to win 50 is the standard unit here, and we're up 4.8 overall, so we're basically technically up 8 some odd units, but that's fine. I'm not here to point out that. Just college was up and down, right? Like college was kind of like
crazy
55.
weekend.
Yeah, it was up and down. We hit some strong ones and we lost some stupid ones, but point being is that I added. So if you can scroll down to the very bottom, I added a couple here. So Rams, as you see, over 26.5 first half. So I same game parlay. That's a risk-free bet. That's why it's at 0. So I same game parlayed that Rams and then over 26.5. But again, to Devan's point, I think the same game parlay that you had is it makes sense. It correlates. It works. If the Rams or the Bills technically are winning, then that happens too. So I don't hate that. I added the Steelers money line. That's a half a unit, technically a quarter here. I like the Steelers in this game. And I know Mitch Trubisky is awful, but I think Cincinnati is going to be a heavy fade this year. Under 41.5, the total
Love
in Chicago.
that game. Love
Two
that.
of the worst quarterbacks / offensive lines. You've got 3 brand new offensive linemen in front of Trey Young.
Yep.
And then last for you to chew on, I pushed Houston above 10 and I dropped KC below 3. And that is a 2-game parlay. Again, a quarter of a unit there, half a unit technically. So that's what I added to the spreadsheet here. That's all.
Good stuff. And
Right.
I'm tailing you on that week 1 teaser with New England and Minnesota.
Good. It's
Yes.
a 6. Now, what did you get Minnesota at?
I forget what I didn't even write it down, but
If it's
when
at
you
2, then you're golden. If it's
when
at
you put it
1.5,
out last
it's fine.
week, I was like, that looks good. I like that. I like that teaser.
All right. Just wanted to get that out. By the way, that teaser's New England, Minnesota 6+. If you get Minnesota at 2, you push that through 7, 6 and 7, and then sit at 8. So it's a really good number. Even at 1.5, it's not terrible. Okay. Anything else you guys want to get out before we get out of here?
No,
float?
I'll save the rest of mine for tomorrow.
Okay.
College football and Eagles.
Absolutely. All right. Make sure you head to ritazice.com. The code is changed to perfect as it's a pumpkin fall. It's Rita's. And I'm sure your households as well out there. We appreciate you hanging. Hit the thumbs up button. Subscribe here to the Philly Voice YouTube channel. And we will be back for another edition of Wednesday's Philly Voice Sports Bets.